Hey, thank you for coming by Tori Magoo 44. Today is the 10th of November 2012. And this is Billie Holiday. I'm going to put the link to this in this video. One of my dear friends passed away recently on Halloween, actually, at 6:45 in the morning. I love that song. And I love my friends. I've lost a couple of them in the last couple months, and one of them didn't want me to talk about it on the internet, so I'm not until her husband says it's okay. This one's about Hector Carmona. I don't know if any of you knew him or not. He was a wonderful guy. He worked on staff at Celebrity Center years ago, back when it got started. I remember helping supervise John Travolta, and he was what is called the Registrar, the person that signs him up. And I know some people, registrars, have gotten a really bad rap, but back in the old days when Hector was in, it was a whole different thing. And he got in, I think, Tom Cruise, John Travolta, most of the celebrities Hector signed up, and then he left. He woke up and he left. And he left all by himself. Nobody else had left at that time. And he was kind of on his own for a long, long time. And then, as I remember it, and I'm pretty sure I'm right, anyway, I escaped out, came back, was over at one of my friends' houses with another person that was an ex-Scientologist, all three of us, and we said, let's call Hector. And Hector had kind of been on his own for years. And we called him up, and he was just like, oh my God, I miss you guys so much. And since then, we've started having parties and been together ever since. And he's a wonderful person. He's a very loving person. And his nephew really stood up for him through all this. So he got cancer, and about a month ago, this has been going on for a while, where he was like getting better pretty much, we thought. And then his doctor said, yeah, your numbers are looking really good, about a month ago. And then a week later called and said, you might as well check yourself into hospice. And if you're not familiar with hospice, it's something you can do if you're terminal, where you've got 6 months or less to live. So we were like, really? So luckily, he called his family in Chicago. They said, pack up your things, come to Chicago. So now, he passes away on Halloween. And Michael, his nephew, flies out here, and we have a celebration for Hector, for all of his friends, because a lot of his friends are out here. He was in Scientology for years. So Michael tells us at the celebration what happened in Chicago, and it's really pretty neat. You have to understand, he'd kind of disconnected from his family for all these years. And here's this young nephew who goes, we're not just going to let it end like that. He has him fly back, and number one, he'd never had a birthday party with his family. So they have a huge birthday party. It's like 50 people, maybe 100, and it's one candle. It's like his first birthday. And he looks so happy. His uncle, or his nephew, had made a photo album of him, of all these photographs with he and his family and stuff like that. Really neat. And so then he talked about how he had talked to Hector, and he said, there's two things for you to come to Chicago. One, you have to stay at my house, which Hector said, no brainer. And he said, two, you have to go to church on Sunday. And he said, okay. So he flew to Chicago. Now he's in Chicago, and he has the party, first of all. The family starts getting together. He says, I'm going to have a thing called Sunday with Hector, which is a takeoff on Tuesday with Maury, right? And I haven't seen the movie, but apparently it's a guy who didn't want to have a service when he died. So he had this Tuesday at Maury's where he could come talk to him. So he had Sunday with Hector. And he had all the family come in and talk to Hector one at a time. And they could say whatever they wanted to say. His brother showed up. He hadn't talked to him in 40 years. And he said to the nephew, this is going to be 5 minutes. I have nothing to say to him. So he goes in. The nephew's sort of like, okay, we'll see how this goes. And he comes out half an hour later with both of them hugging. And I thought, what a wonderful thing for someone to do for their family. No matter what your situation is. If you know someone's dying, I love that. Have the family and friends over so that they can say their last words to the person. So then the last thing was Sunday. And Sunday came. Hector was in his pajamas. And the nephew said, remember the agreement, man. We're going to church. But he wasn't feeling very good. So he said, okay. So he went to church, and he got the minister to come to the house. And the minister helped Hector, and from then on they started praying together, the family. And every night they would get together, and they were all praying and wishing for him better and getting better, and he was getting better. And then one night he finally said, he'd really accepted, I think, just Christ into his life, and he felt like he was done. He felt like he'd kind of finished everything. And so he asked all the family not to stay that night. And that was October 30th. And he passed away October 31st at 6:45 in the morning. And I love that. It's such a great day. If you knew Hector, he was such a fun-loving character. That's what he was. And so for him to pass away on Halloween is just perfect. It's a wonderful thing. I'm going to miss him. Everyone who knows him is going to miss him. I've never known anybody who didn't love Hector. That's just the way it was. If you knew him, you loved him. So if this is the first time you've heard that he's passed away, I know it's hard, but that's the way it is. And he was 71, which was surprising to all of us because he looked like he was about 50, 55, something like that. None of us knew how old he was. So anyway, he was a great guy. And if you can, light a candle tonight just in honor of our friend. Okay, so there you go. I love you all. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube site. And there you go. One more person on their way. And Hector, thank you for being in my life. And if you ever want, do a flyby, I'm here. All right, there you go. Peace out.